Alright, guys, January 28th, 2022. Let's check on the markets. Greed and fear index is up a little bit, which is expected. We had a little price retracement, a little rally back up, meaning could be good or it could be just a little tiny bounce, like always. Pull a few people into long and then we get wrecked, who knows? Or it could be good. Funding rate, right? The token margin contracts were high yesterday, especially Bitcoin, but it seems to have equaled out right now. There was a lot of people shorting yesterday, but now it seems fairly, BTC is negative on OKEX, Binance, Bybit, essentially neutral, right? The biggest ones, FTX as well, but not close to the other two. Liquidations, almost nothing. A few bit longs, open interest. Nothing crazy was opened. Binance is still the highest. In fact, we see a downward trend. Whoops, that ain't good. We don't want a 5 minute. Let's check the hourly. Yeah, it was kind of going up and then down, just like the price. There's really nothing, no increased interest or anything. Let's check. No, we're not going to do it that way. Let's do this. Market cap dominance. BTC is going up again as we expected. People are leaving altcoins into BTC, the safer asset. DXY just broke the resistance again, right? This inflation narrative is, people should start at least double thinking it to some degree. Sure, we have record inflation and it's much higher than the Fed actually tells us it is, but on the short term, and I mean the next few years at least, it's not really going to make that big of an impact. People are still going to go back to it when times get like this, scary in equities and commodities and everything. So again, this is not great for Bitcoin by any measure. Total crypto market, let's turn this off. 1.61, about the same as yesterday. We have a bunch of resistance levels above us, the 2 trillion. I mean, just like the current price, we're kind of deep in the hole with everything. This will be interesting right here. The total stock market, see how it opens today, right? And it's gonna open in about an hour and a half or something. I think it's 7:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's like 9:30 Eastern Time. Pay attention to that. As soon as it opens, we also have a funding cycle basically as well, like within an hour, so it should get pretty volatile soon. So that will be very interesting to see how it plays out. BTC, however, this is a trade I'm currently in, and I'm still in it. Very low leverage. Started around here, right? Around this point. And I'm going to short and scale in as I see how this plays out. I think this is a pretty safe bet it's going to go down. But if we see it, it's going to have to break upon this next touchdown if it does touch it. If it starts straggling and going back up, then I think it might be a reaccumulation. So we'll see. It just depends on what happens fairly recently, and within the hour and a half, we're going to have that burst of volume, so you'll see quickly where it's going to go at that point. If it bounces back up, I'll probably just wait until break even and get out, then reassess. But I'm thinking this will break down, and if it does retest, this is where I'm going to add like 90% of my position, because It never broke to the upside with strength. If it did and entered the trading zone, I would have scaled a lot more here. But I didn't have that opportunity. So this is the only place I can really scale up just to be safe. Yeah, that should be it. There's really nothing that's changed. We're just trying to see where Bitcoin's going to go. I mean, we've only had one touch to the bottom. Uh, I'd like to see another touch if this is even the macro bottom. I'd like to see another touch down here. It seems like if it doesn't touch it, or at least goes for another secondary test, even if it doesn't make it all the way, maybe it goes to here, maybe even to here. If it doesn't do that, it's going to make me nervous. Then I'm thinking once it hits these higher, right here, these red diagonals, which is insane resistance. I mean, it's resistance from all the way on to 69K, right? It's that trending downward sloping resistance, that diagonal resistance. So this is kind of what reinforces my view that this will go down as well. I don't see it showing a lot of strength for it to go up really, and there's not many shorts right now open at all. The funding rate's pretty neutral. So there would be no reason to liquidate a bunch of shorts. I think all signs sort of point downward, especially the macro trend, right? Forget everything you're reading about the Fed, Russia, war, blah, blah, blah. The macro trend's been down for 2 months. In a trend like this, in a scenario like this, you should favor shorting, right? So that's that. We'll see what happens after.